Hello and welcome. GoldBoys Primetime. I am DegenEli here with Jerry Paranormal Base and unfortunately Brian versus the
What's going on?
books. Before we get into it, because I've forgotten the last like 3 shows, huge thank you to Pickett Sports and Boom Fantasy. We're about to talk about a lot of stuff that we could be betting on in the next few days and really next through May, June till NBA ends. And if you're doing it right, you're shopping multiple books. It is not realistic to look through the 30 plus different games that we have to bet on every day on 4 or 5 different books to compare lines. As our Pickett Sports comes into play, download the app for free. Use code GoldBoys or whatever weird code Brian has. What is it?
Face off 40, man.
Face off 40.
It's a
Use code
classic.
Face off 40. You get $3 for free or $100 for free. That is money that comes directly out of Brian versus the Books Pickett salary. So really, just mutually beneficial all the way around. How are we doing, boys? What's up?
What are you drinking there, Brian?
That looked like a questionable decision.
Okay. It's actually this is gonna sound really weird, but I've been really craving a Shirley Temple, and I decided today is the day I'm gonna have it. I was at an event over the weekend, and when my little brother got one, and I said, you know what? I haven't had one of those since I was like 10 years old. So I went out and I bought like grenadine or whatever you call it, and like Sprite. I don't usually have Sprite, so I made one for the show, so that you guys can make fun of me
Is there liquor
exclusively.
in it?
Yeah, it's a dirty Shirley. It's a it's but I decided that this is my usually it's I'm a bourbon person, and today I was like, for the show to get through this, I'm gonna have a little
To
fun with
get
it.
through
So
this.
to get
Oh.
through,
This show
because you guys
does
are you
suck.
guys are you guys are a rough listen, but yes, that's what I
Show
decided on
does suck.
today.
Jerry, what's up? Glad you woke up from your nap in time to join us, man.
You know, I just made it, and I woke up and I said, "Do I really want to hang out with these guys?" I don't, but I have obligations to do so. And Brian already just turned me completely off for the show, just looking at his face.
That's true.
That's fair.
I
That's
am
a lot
surprised
of
you
people
didn't
tell me
say.
that.
I am surprised you didn't say my face with the mustache. It has returned for baseball season. Let's go
It looks
Yankees.
awful. We
It
actually
does look
we went.
terrible. Listen, I'm not. I've never claimed that it looks good or it is a good mustache that it looks anything other than hilarious. It's just really funny. I
If
think it's
I'm
hilarious. My wife pretends to like it. I know she doesn't. Also think that's hilarious. So we're just rolling with it.
if I have to pick up my kids out of school and you're walking by, I'm calling the cops.
I would
I
call the
would.
cops before. I would call the cops just in general. Like if I saw you on the street, like let alone picking up my kids, if I just saw you, I just know something's up.
All right. Uh, Prospector Sam in the chat already.
Oh
How's
God,
it
what a
feel going into
loser!
another season of
Dude.
watching your team not win anything for the viewers? Paranormal Base is a Mets fan. Unfortunately, did not get Carlos Correa. Obviously, didn't get Aaron Judge. Rough off season. I think they're going to be okay. Prospector Sam, it's a good point though. Any
Pro-
thoughts, Jerry?
Prospector Sam, this is my personal belief on him. He can absolutely go to hell. I wish I could just snap my fingers and remove him from existence, but I can't. I'm not
That's a
Thanos.
good point. Like honestly, I did his podcast yesterday, and it was actually really awesome, really exciting. But after like 25 minutes, you're right. It's just you start to lose steam on it. It's just
I've never had a whole lot of interaction with Prospector Sam. The way that he talks shit on Twitter to everybody else in a similar manner that I do, I feel like we would get along. Sam, if you want to have me on your podcast, I'd be down.
no.
Just a little
Sam is
plug.
100% better than you.
Oh, I
We can
did
get
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously.
Cool.
He's only
DJ,
5'2" and 120 pounds, by the way.
DJ, have you seen him in person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, DJ Angel's saying no one is playing today. Everybody's
Yeah, I was
hurt.
about to
Yeah,
say-
we're going to try to fly through the NBA slate. We have 10 NBA games, 16, I think, MLB games. We're not going to talk through all 26 of those games. If you have questions in the chat, drop them in the chat. We'll try to go through them. I think we're going to go through NBA slate first because obviously those games are a little bit more immediate.
It's a
As
lot of
previously
fuckery.
noted, a lot of injuries, so we're just going to kind of see what happens. Game number one, Bucks at my Pacers. Pacers are 12-point dogs. I don't have much on the NBA slate in general. This kind of feels like an Andrew Nemhard night to me. They played. These guys played each other March 16th. Nemhard had 24. No Tyrese Halliburton again. I'm pretty sure. Bucks are giving up some points to point guards, so the line is 13.5. I like that straight. I like it at 15. I like probably a ladder up to 20, maybe even 25 potentially. Hope Nick Larson is watching because I hate the Bucks and they suck. You guys got anything on this game?
Yeah, I took one bet. I took T.J. McConnell for 8 assists at even
I like
money.
that. I like that. I was
Even
gonna
money.
say T.J. McConnell, Sixers
mean,
legend.
He should play 25 to maybe even 30 minutes here. The last time they played each other, he had 12 assists. That was a few weeks ago. I mean, off the bench. 30 minutes off the bench that game. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. I see no reason why he doesn't play 30 minutes here. I mean, 8 assists, I couldn't believe it was even money. It was, it's I don't understand that line to me. I think it was going to be more like 8.5, maybe even 10. With the injuries that they have, and if Miles Turner doesn't play, he's still a game time decision, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I would doubt he plays.
I wonder what Jalen Smith's line's going to be for rebounds. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Man, plus 105 on DraftKings. That's 7.5, Jerry. And you know to trust Jerry on this because this is the first game of a big slate, so he probably spent 4 to 5 hours. He probably spent 4 to 5 hours all day on this game. There is like 10 games on this slate. This is the worst one, but he definitely dug through this. I'm sorry, your Pacers are not exciting anymore. Like they were a fun story for a while, but yeah, I do like that. I almost like it more the fact that you get the plus money there because some of these TJ games they've gone 6.5 for his line and just juice it to like minus 155. I kind of like the idea that they just set it at 7.5. They were man enough to do that, give you plus money. So I do think it's a good spot.
Just
for him.
went up to plus. It was like minus 105 on FanDuel. Just went up to plus 100. Nemhard points dropped a little bit
because they knew Jerry was on it. That's what happened. Jerry said he was on it, and they
just moved the line. Do you have anything you like in this game other than Nemhard or TJ, Brian? Nothing at all.
That's the only thing I would touch would be. I know on Twitter, Jut Picks took Giannis's under, but it's one of those games where. It's one of those games where I hate betting the NBA expecting a blowout. Like it has to be a good matchup too. He should destroy. If you're betting his under, you're hoping they blow him out, which is just such a weird way to bet. And I don't think that's how you should do it. So
it's funny you scroll
McConnell.
You scroll the timeline, you see an under, you get horny, right?
Brian does.
Okay, yeah.
Because
right,
I was hoping we'd have a third lay. Well, let's. I'll keep an eye on that. See if there's a third lay we can throw into this right now. If you like T.J. McConnell for 8 assists and Nemhard 15 points, that's 264. Now I think we can find another leg or two and get that up a little bit.
So you went from let's skip over some games, and now you're trying to make a parlay for the Bucks Pacers game. Like
because I really like those two legs. I really like them a lot. Anyway,
fair.
Mavericks Sixers. Mavericks 5.5 point dogs. I don't know if Embiid is playing yet. Do we?
Him and Harden are game time decisions, but I think they both play. I don't. As a Sixers fan, I don't see them sitting. I think they sat long enough.
There are lines. There are lines for both of them on FanDuel. 35.5 for Embiid. Jeez Louise.
And the thing that sucks is he's gonna hit it. Like it's so funny because there's nothing worse than seeing a line and getting mad at the books for setting it, and then kind of in the back of your head you're like, well. It's probably the correct line. So this is a game where once I get confirmation that they're both in, when DraftKings opens a line, they have a better builder. I will probably run like a 34-8 for Embiid and Harden, like a 34 points, 8 assists, something along those lines. Because Dwight Powell down low is not stopping anybody. And I have seen this in the past where the media / Joel Embiid kind of gets this backlash and he comes back and he just goes like berserk.
That's fair. Jerry?
What about it?
No? Pass?
Oh.
He spent too much time on the Pacers game.
I'm sorry, Brian put me to sleep. So I'm gonna probably just go to 30-30 here for Luka and Embiid. I wanted Luka to be at 30 his line, but it's not. So I'm gonna if Embiid plays, he's getting 30. I mean that's almost a guarantee unless he gets into massive foul trouble or injury. So I'm gonna take 30-30 and get plus 111. You believe in magic numbers?
I do.
Ones are very special. It's a very special number. So
it's better than 0.
Plus money for 30-30. I'll take it.
All right.
That's it.
Rockets Nets. You guys, that game sucks a lot, right?
Yeah, we can skip over that one. I mean,
yeah, you got anything on that one?
I'm taking Jalen Green max threes. That's it.
Jalen Green max threes. Okay.
He's gonna take 63 of them, so that's good.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Heat Knicks. Heat are 5-point dogs in New York. I hate the Heat. Don't like the Knicks very much either. Is it another Tyler Hero night? What are you guys saying?
He does hate the Heat. Tyler Hero, I mentioned it last time on this show when I went over. He did go over. He hates the Heat. He always
hates the
destroys
Heat?
it. I mean, he hates the Knicks. He always destroys the Knicks. Sorry, I had the Heat game up, and I was
This
doing
is the
that
Heat
thing
game.
where yeah, no, but he always. I think the last 4 games against the Knicks, he's gone like for like almost 45 PRA in each game.
So his line is 20 points tonight. Best line is on FanDuel, which I was surprised. It's minus 115, and he has hit 20 plus in all 5 career games versus the Knicks. I mean,
Yeah.
he had 22 last game. He's always in that range, 22, 25. I mean, I've taken that at almost even money. I have to. I have no choice. I have to ride the Tyler Hero hates the Knicks hot streak.
Yeah, he does hate the Knicks. The only thing that makes me upset is I posted on Twitter, but much you guys like to make fun of me, I try my best. I don't like to complain. Like if I lose, I think Jerry's the same kind of way. You get mad about it, but it just happens. But I took Hero's assist when Kyler Lowry was ruled out because like Sugar House was slow on the line. They didn't pull it. Everybody else pulled the line so quick, and I got a stale line at the 3.5 at like minus 115. And then like 20 minutes later, he went from out to game time decision, and it's like now he looks like he might play. So I'm just like overall frustrated with this game because I hate that stuff. Like I hate being the guy who complains, but you can't go from out to questionable. Like that doesn't make any sense. So like
I never. That's happened a few times.
yeah, but like I get like everyone gets mad about like injury reporting. I don't care as much as if it's like he's game time decision, we have to wait it out. But if you mark him out at that point, I'm trusting he's not playing.
Yeah.
And that just pissed me off. So I'm boycotting this game.
Okay.
Because of that reason.
Miles Turner was ruled out. Thank you, DegenEli. Yeah, I saw my my SGP already get locked up there. It is still closed, so
I'm gonna just touch on that a little more.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a little lotto in that game. I'm gonna do T.J. McConnell 10 assists, and whenever Jalen Smith's rebounds line, I hope it opens up. I'm gonna take 10 rebounds for him.
All right.
And do a little parlay together because McConnell's at plus 260. Smith should probably be plus 350 for 10 rebounds, I would say.
Hey, throw Andrew Nembhard. We're gonna throw Andrew Nembhard in there if we get a line by the time the show's over. See what happens.
All right.
Okay, what game are we on? Jazz Spurs fully locked on FanDuel right now. Fully locked.
The Atlanta Clinic was locked out. They've been admitted.
Oh wait, we have
to
points lines. We just don't have spread and money lines. What? That's weird.
Yeah, the Atlanta Clinic's out. I think gambling Twitter is really upset. Kelly Olynyk was ruled out a few minutes ago. He was a cash cow for a lot of people, and a lot of people are on him.
You guys got anything in this game?
No.
Kind of sucks too, right?
Yeah, this is a terrible game. This is one of those games where I think this is the point of the, like, as Jerry kind of hinted at to make fun of me, like, about unders and stuff. This is a part of the year where it gets really frustrated because sometimes you can hope for bad teams to be bad, and then sometimes bad teams are bad, and you just can't guess their rotations. And this is a game where I don't know what either of these rotations are going to look like. I wouldn't be surprised if starters play 48 minutes or, like, 3. Like, they're too hard to predict, these two teams right now.
Jerry?
Yeah. I'm
Same.
good.
Lakers, Bulls, LeBron James playing, Anthony Davis playing.
It's got to be LeBron 40 plus, right? Like, I can't take it because of the injury, but how do you not get too small by Patrick Beverly and then not immediately see red? No pun intended with the Bulls, but like, just how do you not come back in this game and just
Highest
go
line
off?
you can bet on FanDuel is 31.5 at plus 280 for LeBron James.
His line is
Like, am I-
31 and a half.
No, that's the highest.
No,
the
it's
highest line you can bet.
25 and a half.
It's like
25.5.
what?
But
fuck
yeah,
book is
am I not wrong? Like how does LeBron James not at least try to go off after getting embarrassed by Pat Bev? Like,
I don't think anybody takes it personal when Pat Bev does it because he does it to anybody. He doesn't.
yeah,
give a
but he's
shit.
just Pat Bev, you know. Like I would just get that would just get under my skin.
He's like a professional troll. I don't think they take it too serious. Everybody's on LeBron tonight, and I think Anthony Davis is going to be dominant. I mean, I thought he was going to be dominant last game. He didn't really do much, but I think this is a big.
Has he scored 40 yet since our conversation about him scoring 40?
He scored. Did he score 35? I think 38 last 2
Yeah,
games
but
ago.
he hasn't scored.
39 on March 5th, 35 on the 14th, 37 on the 24th. Has not hit 40 in the
Because
last
last
10.
time we were talking, Jerry was the one that was saying keep betting him for 40, so he still hasn't done it.
DJ Angel says LeBron triple double watch. Not a bad look, I guess. I just worry about. Is this his first game back?
Second.
No, he's
Second?
back.
How many
off the
minutes
bench
did he play last game?
He
I had it written.
paid
I can.
like
I got it.
28?
Guys.
No, I got it right here. Yeah,
29.
30. He had 30 even.
30.
Half 30.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
round up.
Maybe they need the game, right? Bulls suck.
The Lakers have needed the games a while back.
True.
A lot of these teams are playing as if they're not fighting for a playoff spot, which is kind of funny in the NBA. Where I get the postseason matters most, but some of these teams act like they are already in, and they're not.
You guys
I
bet
think
on this
LeBron.
game?
What?
Are you guys gonna bet on this game?
I would say no, only because I think there's better games on the slate.
True.
I think that's where it comes down. Maybe if it was a 5-game slate, probably. But this is like a 9 or 10-game slate, so I think there's other value on the board.
And you have to bet Pat Bev for 6.5, right? Just because he's a prick and likes to
Yeah,
shoot like 5 threes in the first 5 minutes.
he plays up against teams like this. Like teams he hates, he will play up for.
All right. Pistons Thunder. Is SGA playing?
No, he's out.
Game sucks too. You guys betting on it?
If anything, I would take my classic Killian Hayes under.
And
that's
Hayes
just because,
under.
That's just because he's just not good. He actually went over. He went. I've only lost one bet on Killian Hayes' under this year, and it was last game. And he started off shooting 1 for 8. And I remember texting people saying, "Just watch this guy like limp his way to 14 points," and he did. He took like 18 shots to get there.
You know what's hilarious is NJC, our boss. It's been a few months back, like early on in the NBA season when I was like still paying attention to the NBA. He was going to a game and he was like asking me for my cheat sheets and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I think I like Ivy tonight. You know, the shooting guard matchup. This whatever. He's like, what about Killian Hayes? I was like, well, Jaden Ivey is good at basketball, and Killian Hayes is not. So
Yeah, he's
no.
NJC and I text about it, and he's very pro Killian Hayes unders. Like he's at the point where he's like, just take the assist, fade the points. Like, he's just like the guy's so bad. Like he knows. So I will say, Jerry kind of mentioned it earlier with Tyler Hero saying surprisingly, FanDuel is the best line. I do think I look at FanDuel in the NBA sometimes as like a cheat sheet in itself, where they have Hayes at 12.5 and DraftKings is 13.5. So I do look at that sometimes and think I trust their algorithms a lot more than some others. So I might look into fading Hayes.
So last Thunder game, you see how insane that was? It was 3 guys that scored 30 points.
Yeah.
Now
and PJ Washington also had 4 last night. This is just a
42?
weird time. Yeah.
So these are the odds. Like it's not gonna happen again. That was ridiculous. But like just to put in perspective how crazy that was, these are juiced down odds now since they all went off last game. You can only bet Gideon Williams for 30. You can't even bet Isaiah Joe for 30. You could bet him for 25 plus 49,000. And that's juiced down odds because of last game. So imagine what that parlay would have been yesterday.
1,000,000 to 1. Who is it? Mike? It's Mike on Twitter, right? Like that. Like has that. He always does it, like after the fact. Where he's like, if you took these 3 things, these are the odds. I wonder if he posted something about that because I would be interested to see what the odds were. Because PJ Washington 2 threes or 3 threes was like plus 160 or something like that. Like for 3, what was 5 and 40 points?
So Jerry, which 3 are you taking for 30 plus?
I'm not taking it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just showing you how crazy that was, and this is why I don't laugh at anybody when someone puts a stupid parlay and you look at it, it's like this is nonsense. Like what is this? As long as you bet it responsibly and put like some spare change or something on it, but there's nothing that's impossible in this league.
All right. Clippers
And that's
Grizzlies.
my pep talk.
Yeah. Good thought.
No, that was good. No, I mean it's very true. There's things that frustrate you because I mean this is to kind of attack onto that. I mean yesterday I took an under of Kristaps Porzingis who dropped 32, and it's not just him. The entire Wizards team went over in the third quarter against the Boston Celtics. So it's like when you talk about crazier things, that's like a top-rated defense in the league. If you parlayed all 5 starters for the Washington Wizards G League team to go over, you cashed out in the third quarter. It's like things happen, and then you just gotta cry yourself to sleep and move on. DJ Angel, yeah, I think we're gonna have we'll have a parlay or 2 before the switch up. We're waiting on a couple lines in the mainly the Jalen Smith rebound line. Jerry has given out he gave out like a kind of a builder evenish money or a little bit more SGP that I forget about.
gonna run through that again
Luka.
if
30, just
you have it in
did
front of
30
you.
30 for Embiid and Luka.
30 points for Embiid and Luka.
And surprisingly, I took a plus 1200 today. I feel
Wow.
weird about I did. I sent it to you. I don't know if you had it, but I can always go over it.
Yeah, I have that.
So you
Oh,
do
yeah.
like fun.
Okay, not really, but you know how it is.
Clippers, Grizzlies. Somebody go.
Everyone's doubtful or game time decision.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to bet this game right now because I was actually gonna take Baines under, and then everybody became doubtful. So Baines doubtful, Jaren Jackson's doubtful. I think Conchar is like out. Tyus Jones is doubtful. Like it looks like this is a game that the Grizzlies are just not gonna play. Like sometimes in the NBA teams just decide or that they schedule a loss and they just bench everybody. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting here.
All right.
Wow, Jaren Jackson's his threes are up and his points aren't. They're being real weird with this game right now.
And he's doubtful, so I doubt he even plays. Yeah, Conchar is game time decision. Tillman's game time decision. Bane, Jackson, and Tyus Jones all doubtful.
Russell
Luke
Westbrook triple double day.
Luke Kennard is that the move there?
Yeah, you know what? This is why he's not the move because he's been going off on the bench, shooting very efficiently, hitting 4 threes. The last
Revenge
few games.
game. The
And
Clippers.
then, yeah, exactly. Now a whole narrative comes in. He's gonna get extended minutes, and he's gonna go 1 for 8.
Yeah. I like that. Can we take this under? Jerry, I'll text you. If his lines come out, we have to at least throw like $10 on an under. Just like for our own edification. Like,
I'll
just
do
for
it.
our own fun.
I'll do it.
All right. So next game then.
Yeah.
T-Wolves, Suns. And I'm gonna put Brian's crazy plus 1200 parlay over his face
Yeah,
here.
so
Looks pretty good to me.
surprisingly, I do like this a lot, but I did take Devin Booker over 32.5 points / assist, and I took his over 27.5 points as straights. So I have about a unit and a half risk on those straights. But I did take this crazy parlay. I'll go through the Devin Booker part first because I have it as straights. But Kevin Durant's expected to play. There's no reports about his minutes yet. But, oh, man, when he's out there, I mean, you take away the top defensive players. Like I guess today will be McDaniels. Other games have been other players. But he opened up the spacing for this Suns team so much that it allows a guy like Devin Booker that's so used to like trying to score against top options on the defense. He frees him up a lot. So the games that Kevin Durant has played this year, Devin Booker has dropped 37, 35, and 36. And Jerry kind of made a funny joke about, different bands or how people's like lines become iffy. So I actually took him 33.5 in the parlay just because I feel like so many times you see a guy, you pick him for 40, they get 39, you pick him for 35, they get 34. So I did back myself a little bit there. But there is a risk-free bet match on FanDuel I got, so I decided to use it on this longer shot. I kind of mentioned earlier, Joel Embiid should absolutely crush today against the Mavericks, and Harden averages 4.5 assists to him per game, so kind of pair that up, and then same correlation thought with the second leg there. If Booker's going off, Kevin Durant, 29.5 or 28.5 points is a little out of the question. So they're kind of correlated legs, and I kind of like the odds for what it looks like on paper.
All right, not bad, not bad. You sound very articulate throughout all. I was actually captivated by your explanation. But I am so frustrated with Devin Booker, regardless of who's in, who's out. It is literally like he just takes complete halves off. If you have him for the over, you're either gonna get a big first half and almost nothing in the second half, or nothing in the second half, and then he comes close and gets you excited. And then fucking misses his line by like 3 points.
So counterpoint for you, Jerry. What are your thoughts on this? I don't like to bet this way because I bet more whatever. But think about this: last game he pissed everybody off. Like I'm taking a slight ladder on Devin Booker. A game after, everyone got so mad that he shit the bed the entire second half. I feel like sometimes those are the most dangerous players to attack. Is when gambling Twitter bans them, and they are just so sick of them. And then all of a sudden they drop 50 and everyone's like, oh, I fucking knew it. Like I should have. Like it's every time. It's the day after bets. There's actually a page called the day after bets. And I think there's something to that.
I like that. I mean, I don't ban play. There's very, very, very few players that I will say I'm never betting on this guy again. I'll make a joke about it. I'd be like, this guy's banned until next game or something stupid. I can't
Yeah.
do it because there's a matchup that'll hit for you, like Marcus Smart. Guy's been horrendous to bet on this year.
Yeah.
And I still found a couple good spots to bet on him, recently. So you can't really ban players. Maybe a guy like PJ Tucker, he's useless. The guy's never gonna give you value. His threes are never listed. You could ban that guy, and you'll be happy and satisfied for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so to attach that to your thought there, I actually had someone DM me saying, "Oh, Booker let me down last game, can't do it," and my counterpoint was saying, if he didn't do that, and you looked at the numbers purely of a guy that has a 27.5 line, and I told you he scored 35 points each time Kevin Durant was healthy, I was like, would you not take that 11 out of 10 times if it wasn't for this weird like bad taste in your mouth of last game? Like I think people look at one game too heavily in their thinking about betting, where there's like a whole new group of data and other games that they're just blocking out for that one emotional damage they had.
What do you think about Kevin Durant shooting threes as a Sun? He's been shooting a lot of threes lately.
The spacing's great for them. Like this is a team that can, I actually think that like it's hard to back a team that's like a heavy favorite to win it all, but if they're all healthy, their spacing's really good. It lets Kevin Durant do that. Like it lets him kind of expand his game a little bit more, which is crazy to say for a guy like that.
But we're still getting low volume KD lines for three
Yeah.
threes at plus 230 to hit three threes is very doable, and he's been hitting it. He's been hitting it as a Phoenix Sun, and they haven't really adjusted. They adjusted a little bit because before you were getting plus money, slight plus money for two threes. Now it's juiced to minus 130, but it's not a massive line movement, for its value
Yeah.
now.
Do you
So
like what do
it's-
you like more, Jalen Green for 3 threes or Kevin Durant for 2 or 3 threes?
I would say KD three threes
AD
at
3
plus
threes.
230. You kidding me?
Especially
so-
like if you can get the one, I'm sticking right now minus 130 for the 1.5. If you can like get that, like I said, if you want to get that and kind of reduce the juice a little bit by taking like a correlated leg or even a reverse correlated leg, because this is a game where maybe he hits 2 threes, but he goes under his 20. It's like all like 25.5, because who knows what his minutes will be. So that's maybe one you can have some fun with, where he's taking more 3-point attempts, but his field goal attempts have been a little bit down. So you can maybe get some of the reverse correlation there.
I don't think we're going to get Jalen Smith lines, at least on FanDuel. They're not out yet. Maybe 5 minutes before game time. Let me run you through this. Andrew Nemhard, 15, which I still like a lot. McConnell, 8 assists. Kevin Durant, 3 threes. Plus 1165. That feels too high to me. It feels like there's a lot of value in that.
I could see that.
We could do back-to-back 11 to ones.
Hey, we hit one last night. Obviously, well, Brian wasn't there last night, so that could be the key.
Sorry, my bad. Well, I didn't contribute to this, so you're welcome.
Jalen Smith lines, I think, are going to be up. They're expecting him to start. So, but
So
we'll make that
yeah.
a side bet. We'll make that a side bet with McConnell
Yeah.
and Smith, little 10-10 parlay, or if you want to do 8-8, which will probably be their standard lines.
man, McConnell's plus 110 for that 8 plus.
Yeah,
They
went
listen
up.
to me get on this show and they say, "Oh, this idiot's talking about this. Raise the juice." He's gonna get a lot of suckers. to
I
bet this
tailed
one.
you on AR-15 though at one time, and this is one where I probably won't post it because I'll let you have it. It's your bet, but man, like I will take that with you. That's a
I'll
good-
tweet it out right now and say it's mine.
Good
Don't
thing
you
only have
hate?
7
Don't you
followers.
hate that there's a bunch of people that
Go to
bet on? My least favorite thing about gambling Twitter is like there's a bunch of people looking at the same lines, and then it's like, oh, you stole that from me. Yeah, sure, all right, yeah, you're the only one.
I'm not gonna
Only
lie.
one on this 3-game slate that solved this insert name here.
I'm not gonna lie. I've ended up. I see someone post like a prop, and I'm like, shit, I like that, and then I don't even post about it. Like I don't put it in my Discord, and I end up losing out because I hate that feeling of like, damn it, this guy just wrote a whole thing. There's like 500 people like this post. I'm like, I can't post this now. It's like you get discouraged, but I got to stop doing that. It's like I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find it eventually. Why am I worried that I saw it already?
No, yeah, like I said, I've always seen people being like, oh, Brian, sorry, can I steal this or like this or that? I'm like, dude, there's no there's a big slate. Like, anyone can see these lines. We all are looking at the same thing. If you find value in it, go for it. Or I'll have people be like, hey, can I tweet this out? Yeah, of course.
I literally say to you that I'm gonna steal it and I'm gonna claim it as my own.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, so that's a little bit more oomph to it. But Last thing I'll say, because I don't really want to touch the last game, but have you guys ever noticed that whenever there's 10 games on a slate, they never start, like, there's only one game at 7:10. Like, whenever they decide to have these big slates, why can't they stagger them better? Like, all the games are in, like, the big cluster, and there's one at 7:10, and there's two at 10, and then the rest are just, like, all at 8. I don't get that.
On Central Time.
It's all
Yeah,
time
but
zone shit, no?
I get the time zone stuff,
It's
but, like,
seven.
there's
It's
enough.
like 7 o'clock local.
Yeah, but there's 10 games. Like, they could definitely spread it out better. Like,
You're not wrong. And that, well, in the New York and Philly games, they start at 7:40 local.
You know what? I'm gonna write a letter to the commish, and I'm gonna tell them we need to start some
They'll probably
New York
read it.
games at 10 o'clock.
They'll probably
they
read
would
it.
read it. I mean, I just mean in fact, like, the Knicks and the Sixers are both home and they're at the same time. Like, why couldn't it be 7:10, 7:40? Like, there's so much. So, Derrick Rose's illness is listed out. He's not even playing anymore.
All right, so last game, Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh no, wait, talk about that one. Sacramento Kings and Portland Trailblazers. 14-point spread here. 14. Pass, or are you guys in on something?
I'm passing. This is a game where they are setting lines for the Kings as if it's gonna be a blowout, and I think it's hard to find value whether over or under when you're getting discounts in a big spread where, like De'Aaron Fox should probably be at 26.5 this game. He's set at 24.5, so they're setting it as if it's gonna be a blowout, which kind of makes you harder to find value.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah,
Nothing?
you could mess around with threes. Any Kings game, if you're into like doing lottos and stuff like that, just take some threes. Just mess around with the with different players, because I've seen like 4 different guys go for 4 threes against the Kings before. It's like, or vice versa, or the Kings do it. It's like every game the Kings play, it's like a 3-point lotto fest. But this is probably gonna be a blowout, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah,
Can we talk about baseball now?
I would like that.
All right, before we do, just a reminder, download Pickett Sports, use code GoldBoys, or I've already forgotten Brian's weird code, something, face-off 40, that's what it is. $3 or $100 for free, comes out of Brian's Pickett salary, he also works for them. Download Boom Fantasy, use code GoldBoys, or probably BrianVsTheBooks on that one. He probably doesn't have face-off 40 for them. Daily fantasy in a props over-under format, awesome to work with. I'm so excited to talk about baseball. I'm so excited. Before we jump in, and so there's a ton of games tomorrow. We don't have lines on all of them. I don't think it makes sense to dig into every single game. I could talk about baseball for hours, but before we jump into at least like the earlier day games, any just like overall MLB philosophy, MLB betting philosophy tips or anything you guys have?
Win your bets.
Win
That
your bets.
usually
That's a good one.
Spells success. If you win more bets than you lose, you usually do pretty okay.
Okay.
Make sure you're on the right side of the line.
Yeah. No, that's actually a good line.
You
That-
guys
I
are a
was trying
pain
to
in
be
the
a
ass.
dick.
You know that?
No, I was trying to be a dick. That's actually good advice, though. No, I will say the one thing I'll say is you plug Pickett Sports, and I'll plug them again for line shopping. My biggest thing in baseball is it's all low volume props. You're talking hits, doubles, total bases, strikeouts. I mean, for a guy like Devin Booker in basketball, 27.5 to 28.5 is minimal change. But for these low volume props, a 6.5 to a 7.5 is a 15% change in the line. So you gotta stay on top of the lines and make sure you're on the right side of them, because the percentage of change for each 0.5 or each one whole jump is just very massive.
Gary, anything?
Oh, you want a real answer?
I mean, preferably. You don't have if you don't you don't have to, but
Well, I'm gonna say this: if you want to survive baseball season, I would make a suggestion to, if you want to bet in lottos and stuff like that, make sure you bet your straights, because you will get cooked for weeks at a time on lottos in baseball. I'm talking home runs, whatever, total bases. I see people put 5-leg total bases and they miss by 1. They're complaining every night. If you just do parlays for baseball season, you will see stretches of weeks, possibly months, where you don't have a hit. And it suckers you in, because you have these home run parlays, which are, you put 4 legs together. You look at it, you're like, oh, these guys are elite. This has a good chance of hitting. It's plus 20,000 for these 4 guys to hit a home run, and it's probably not going to happen. It's most likely not going to happen. It's very tempting to just keep going with the lottos. I'm close. in baseball season will kill you.
Yeah, that's really good advice, and especially with just the volume of games. Like an NBA season is 82 games, MLB is 162, right? So you have anywhere from 10 to 6. I think last year, a couple of days, there were like 17, 18 games in a day because every team played and a couple teams had a doubleheader. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to place bets. You do not, please don't bet on every single game. You don't have to do that. Pick your spots. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's advice in itself. Like, holy hell,
Yeah.
you were on the spaces. I didn't even cut you off. That was so rude of me. I'm sorry.
Go
But
on,
you
go
were on
ahead.
the spaces earlier, and we both agreed on that. There's like 10 baseball games tomorrow. If you have action
More than
on
that.
even like 6 of them, it's like, dude, it's first day. There's so many games to wait for. You do not need to bet every single game. It will put you, because like we made fun of Prospector Sam earlier because Jerry and him are arch nemesis. But I mentioned that on this podcast yesterday. 10-0 does not set you up as ahead as 0-10 sets you back.
Yeah,
that was a
100%.
quote I had. Like 10-0 does not put you as far ahead as it would be if you just go completely blanks 0-10 in a slate.
There are 15 MLB games tomorrow. I think there's probably every day for the next up through October. There's going to be an average of 13, 14 MLB games every single day, and there's not going to be value in any of them. The only thing I'll say is like betting on baseball is so much different, I think, than any other sport, just because of how much more of a grind the season is. So everything is just a little bit different. So if you're new to betting on baseball, I would say try to understand some of the stats and some of the obvious, like, righty lefty matchups, obvious things like that. If you're super new, because if you see Rafael Devers against a lefty with huge plus money odds, well, it's probably because it's not a great matchup for him at all, and his numbers dip a lot versus left-handed pitchers because he hits from the side of the plate, right? So just try to get a basic understanding of that, and embrace the grind of the baseball season. Let's get into the games, at least a few of them. We talked a couple, and we'll jump into the Giants-Yankees game first. I've said this now. This is the third time I'm going to be saying this. Said it last night with Nick, Jerry. Said it on the Spaces with you earlier. I love Garrett Cole, big Yankees fan. I'm gonna try to find a way to fade him tomorrow. I haven't decided exactly how I'm gonna do it. I just think with the rule changes and how much things get into his head, I don't expect him to pitch well tomorrow. I don't expect him to pitch well for a few games. But I think the way I'm leaning is I think I'm leaning towards the Giants team totally the first 5 or full 9 innings. I'll probably pick maybe a guy or two just to sprinkle a home run on as well on the Giants side. But I don't think the Yankees winning the game outright is out of the question. Anything you guys are eyeing on this game so far?
Nothing for me. Nick Larson mentioned the 8.5 for Garrett Cole strikeouts. It's now 7.5, and we mentioned low volume lines. At 7.5, I just can't fade Cole there.
7.5 for plus money though. Honestly, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
The only thing is that
Under 7.5.
he's got that weird relationship where he can just like will himself to go back out there even if he's getting shelled. Like he's got this weird pull where, he can just yell and scream enough where they'll put him in for an extra half inning. So it's definitely a tough one.
I think something to keep an eye on if he gets a shot clock violation early, fade him like crazy, live bet, because he's gonna go downhill really quick. The only thing I haven't seen any stolen base lines. I'm gonna bet Anthony Volpe for a stolen base every single game that it's available, anytime he's starting. But obviously unless they juice it to hell.
Well, I took him for a home run.
Did you? What were the odds?
We spoke about plus 900. I told you that's going to be around that range.
I'm in.
I mean, opening day home run for the rookie. So I also have a parlay with him and Michael Conforto to hit a home run. Michael Conforto in the short porch, coming back, playing in New York. I mean, the narrative is there. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I think there's also just an overarching narrative here with, Judge was it was announced incorrectly that Judge was going to sign with the Giants, right? Giants are playing in New York. Like I think the Giants are going to be a little bit more up for this game than the Yankees are potentially. So yeah.
And the Yankees were talking to Conforto too, and then they ended up saying, "Nah, we're not going to sign you." So that's another little narrative for you.
What were the odds on that parlay?
Plus 7,000.
I'm in. I'm so in, dude. I'm with you. But what did we say? You find some straights you like tomorrow too, for sure.
It's first day. Give me a break.
Next game, Braves Nationals. I do have a couple spots I like in this game just because Patrick Corbin is not good at baseball. You guys have anything on this one?
I can't believe that he is starting opening day.
Yeah,
Who
because
would have thought?
there's some kids on that in that rotation that are coming, and should have that spot. And Patrick
Oh,
Cooper
that's
hasn't been good in
I'm
a
gonna
while. But
clip that. I'm gonna clip that for later.
you know what, Brian?
That-
Just
Yeah, that was oof.
I'm telling you.
Oh wow.
The mustache.
Yeah, but this I need to clip the Jerry picking up his kids from school comment with that, and then we have a case. We have a case already. But I do think
No.
the one this show just got a lot better, a lot handsomer actually. But I do think the one thing I want to play in this game is once it's available on DraftKings. If you haven't followed me before, the DraftKings and MGM Builder, whether it's basketball or baseball, I swear their same game parlay builder does not really factor in correlation as much as it should. So I'm hoping and I'm almost guaranteeing, but like expecting to see Max Fried
guarantee.
5+ strikeouts and and a Braves win, like a PPD of 5 and a win. I think that should be around plus 100 on those builders, and I will probably take that because Max Fried's just a guy that he just shoves. I mean, all right, there's a mustache, whatever. He gives you quality innings. His last two starts on opening day, the last 2 years, his first start of the year, he went 5 innings in both of them, 5 strikeouts and 8 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs in both those games. He gets a lot of leash with this team for good reasons. He's just that good. Last three spring training games, he's 5 strikeouts in both, in all three of them, I mean. And he should see 4 left-handed pitchers tomorrow, and 26% strikeout rate against lefties. And you mentioned Patrick Corbin, that
Corbin Burns good at baseball. Patrick Corbin
Yes.
bad at baseball.
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, but yeah, no, Patrick Corbin should get shelled. So if you give Max Fried a lead to work with early, I do think that's very in the realm of possibilities to get 5 strikeouts and a win, especially at plus money.
I was really waiting for Jerry to look up and see the mustache and get his reaction on that, because I think it's hilarious before I took it down. But anything on this game, Jerry? I do like that I have a couple.
You know what's funny though? I look good with it. You look like still like a.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
Don't say it. We've been beating up on him enough. The poor guy. Jeez, man, give him a break.
All right, I'm gonna talk about spots I like, so you guys won't shut the hell up. Like I said, I have in my notes under Patrick Corbin. I just have bad in all caps. Ozzie Albies has been going kind of crazy in spring. Again, spring training, you can't take a whole lot of stock into things, but he's got 4 home runs. He's slugging close to 600. I like him to get 2 total bases tomorrow. I think. Is there a line on that yet? I haven't seen it. Also, this is a bad matchup because Matt Olson is left-handed, so is Patrick Corbin. Matt Olson hit 8 home runs this spring, 8. So you know, again, you can't take a whole lot into account there, but if he keeps that up at all, he's gonna go yard a couple times in the next week or so.
Don't you think first inning result Atlanta Braves at plus 240 is a nice little.
What's the money
bet.
line?
For what? For tie?
First inning money line, not result. The
First
2-way,
Ooh,
the void of draw.
I don't see it.
All right. Yeah. The only thing with the result is obviously it loses if
Yeah, but
if nobody scores, but
if you
plus
expect them
240.
Yeah, if you expect them to shell,
Yeah. That's not bad.
that's why like whenever Cookie Carrasco's pitching, you take the opposite team to win the first inning. It's like a
that
it's like a
guy
tradition.
will struggle his way to 5 strikeouts and 5 runs. Like it's crazy.
That's not a bad look though. I see what you're saying because if you like. You're gonna be plus money on if you like Albies or if you like Olsen, either one of those guys could be just ice cold tomorrow. If he's gonna get shelled, odds are he'd probably get shelled in the first inning. So yeah, that's not a bad look either, especially plus 240. Is that on FanDuel?
FanDuel, yeah.
That's not bad. All right. Anything else?
I did send the one pick I have in is Eduardo Rodriguez over 3.5 strikeouts. That's the only play I have locked in. As always with these lines, I don't know how there's so little lines just filtering in now. I mean, we kind of have a good idea of who's pitching in each game. We kind of know what the lineups are going to be. I'm surprised that more books don't have lines widely available, but Rodriguez, Erod, not good. Not a great pitcher. 4 ERA last year, but he does get a 3.5 strikeout line here. I took the over. He gets the Rays. The only thing that sucks with Rodriguez is he might not get strikeouts because sometimes he just gets absolutely shelled. But he should face 7 right-handed batters tomorrow. And last year, a fun stat, his batting average against lefties was 300, and his walk rate versus lefty was close to 14%. But against righties, he only allows 235 batting average against and 7.5 walk rate. So this is more of a longevity thing. If he's not getting shelled by all these right-handed batters, he should be able to see 4 strikeouts. I have him with, I don't know about you, Eli, but when I do my projections of this and that, I like to grade them A, B, C, D, E, F for strikeouts per batter. I have him as 1A, 2 Bs, and 3 Cs in this lineup. And for a 3.5 line, that's a hammer spot. This is actually a spot where I have him at 5.5 strikeouts projected. If it wasn't the first game of the season, it might be a 1.5 unit play. But first game, opening day, being more conservative, just 1 unit for me.
Yeah, and the Rays aren't a team that are going to shell really anybody. They're not built like that. They're a good baseball team. They're going to compete for the AL East this year. But they get it done. They play a lot of small ball, sac flies. They hit a lot of singles. They're not a team that's going to shell you. Can they string together 6-7 hits in an inning against the Erod? Yeah. But it's not going to be 3 home runs in 2 innings and it gets yanked. It'll be a death by 1,000 cuts.
He's also last 2 spring change starts, 75 and 85 pitches.
Yeah, so he'll be up there.
I mean, he's already pitching full game workloads, which is good to see.
A couple other things I'm looking at. I talked about this a little bit on Spaces too. I don't think the Red Sox, and obviously, I'm a little biased against the Red Sox. I just don't think they're going to be that good this year. Corey Kluber wasn't great last year, and he's another year older. I also love Corey Kluber. Kyle Gibson's not great, but and I see their money line on FanDuel. The Orioles money line is down to +110. It was like +135, +140 earlier when I saw it. So I don't think it's crazy that if the Orioles win that game outright tomorrow. You can get their plus a run and a half at -182 and pair it with something somebody like to get a hit or something. I also do like Rafael Devers tomorrow. Let me see what his base is. He's +450 to hit a home run. So 2 plus bases are going to be like what, 250 probably.
Probably.
That's not a bad play. Let me just run through here. Anything else at all you guys are just eyeing or waiting for this line to come out?
No, my big weight is the plate performance double for Fried. If I wasn't a Phillies fan, DeGrom's strikeouts are a little high. I think they were 7.5 with the under being plus money. But as a Phillies fan, I can't take it. But that's the only 2 spots I was actually looking at outside of the one I already took.
Jared, you got a home run. You already talked about your home. You have anything else you're looking at for tomorrow, home run wise?
Home run wise, I don't. I was just focusing on the Yankees and Giants because I've been spending.
It's the first game on the slate.
It's
of
the
FanDuel,
first game on the slate,
yeah.
so I spent. But this time I spent 15 hours on it.
15. Yeah, it's been a long 2 weeks looking at this game. The last spot I will say, I mentioned on Spaces, but I didn't want to forget about it. But Alek Manoah, if he's at 5.5 for strikeouts, if he does move to 6.5, I probably will fire. As long as it's like, I think -135 would be my limit. Because like I said, opening day, I don't want to spend too much juice. But if you get to 6.5 at decent odds, I do think that's a good fade spot.
Kind of on that same note, where do you think Luis Castillo's K line opens?
Ooh.
You don't have it yet. I haven't checked Pickett Sports. Download it. Use code GoldBoys if you want to use that to see. But
good plug. This is like hell for Jerry that's looking for bombs, and we're talking about strikeouts.
Yeah. Because I have the same mindset.
Would you take the under?
I'm looking at what?
What if it was? It's not up yet, but 5.5 plus 110 theoretically. Like it's not up.
You have to think about it, right? I mean, the Cleveland doesn't strike out. Cleveland doesn't strike out a lot, man. What did he do early on? Last season, the first, he didn't go over 5.5 till his 4th start last season. 5-2-5. So yeah, if it's 5.5 at close to even money, I think about it. I have to see what it opens. But if it at any point it gets 6.5, hammer it.
I'd realistically pay any juice over. Yeah. I mean, under like 170, like 165. Yeah. Even if I don't post it, I'd still play it.
Yeah.
in the amount of the juice if it was 6.5.
Cleveland is not a team that's going to strike out a lot. One more thing. Oh yeah, I'm also very interested in the Angels athletics game. The A's have a historically bad roster, like literally one of the worst rosters that's ever been fielded on a major league team. But Kyle Muller can strike some people out, and I talked about this in Spaces a little bit last night too. But Nick, Kyle Muller can strike some people out. And he's also going to give up a lot of bombs, I think, or a lot of hard hit balls at least. So, like an Angels team total, or if you like Trout, if you like Ohtani. Pair them with like a 4 or 5 plus strikeouts for Kyle Muller.
Yeah,
that could be a good look. That's pretty much everything I'm looking at.
I feel bad for Jerry too, because for a lot of offensive props are even like filtered in. Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's a lot more strikeout props coming out, but like if you're looking for home runs, total bases, hits, like man, we should know the lineups, right? Like for the most
Dude,
part,
we've known the stars, like, so it's opening day, right? So the stars are gonna play, and we've known the starting pitchers for a week. So there's absolutely no reason why 2 total bases isn't up for the top 4 or 5 players per team right now. There's no reason. It's like they're wasting money, I feel like, right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
I have a little futures.
Oh, we
thing
haven't
I
talked
put
about
together.
futures. Go ahead.
So I put a parlay together that would make me miserable to look at, to come to the realization.
Right.
I took 2 Cy Young props and I parlayed them together because you can do that on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
Please tell me it was the National League and the American League, right?
It was.
Okay.
And can you guess which 2 pitchers I picked?
Sandy Alcantara, Max Scherzer.
No. I said it would make me miserable seeing. these guys win.
Jacob deGrom.
That's one. Who's in the NL?
I hope it's the guy I have, but it's not. So
You give it because I don't know the National League as well.
I have a
He's a
future.
former Met.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Is it Zach Wheeler?
Yep.
Dude, I have Zach Wheeler 19 to 1. I gave it out 2 weeks ago.
I got it 18-1, but I have him and DeGrom parlayed together because I know
Oh,
it's gonna
this is
happen.
great.
I know it's gonna happen. This is gonna be the year these guys both go off, and all Mets fans are gonna be like, "Look at what we had." Look at what
Brian
we
opening
gave
his
up."
phone to put the bet in right now.
It's plus 12,000 if they both can win the Cy Young this year. That's incredible to me.
Nestor Cortez Jr. is going to win the Cy Young, so sorry about that. But
Overrated. He's like Linsanity. It's a little drop
it's been
in the bucket.
2 years of this man.
Nah, he's a little drop in the bucket. Everybody got excited.
Disrespect.
He's overrated.
Wait, okay. I'm actually a little upset because my FanDuel, that parlay I put in here earlier, was a bet match, so I should get the $25 right away, right?
Where my phone is. I have a whole chicken on the grill right now. I just forgot about it.
Oh, I have to wait for my bet to settle. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put that in my channel on GoldBoys though. Not the parlay. I'll take myself, but I will use the free bet from this bet match tonight on straight Zach Wheeler, and I'll post it as an actual play because I do think, like, I try to look at sports without my bias, and Zach Wheeler is a guy that just gives a lot of quality innings.
He's good.
He's
Is
good.
He's improving. He's like
And the team
every
should
year.
win too, which is big. The team should give him wins. But yeah, he just gives a lot of innings. I actually thought the year that Burns won, it should have been Wheeler. Like, unbiasedly, I thought innings alone, he gave so much more quality innings. So I do like that. I think that's a good look at, like, close to 20 to 1.
Anthony
Yeah.
Volpe, Rookie of the Year, obviously.
He
Throw
was
that
like
in there.
he was plus 800. What is his line now?
I don't know.
He was plus 800 before he was announced that he was making the opening day roster. We spoke about it on the show, I think, last
Yeah,
week.
and you said to take it, and I didn't because I did not think the Yankees were actually going to put him on there.
They did the right thing.
Anthony Volpe is plus 650, so it came down a little bit. Gunnar Henderson is a short shot at 70. Masataka Yoshida plus 600. There's probably some value there, but anyway, I don't want to dig into every single feature because we could.
Yeah.
But yeah,
NL Rookie of the Year is wide open.
yeah.
Wide open. Like, there's so many people that could come out of nowhere and just take it, you know?
Yeah. All
All right.
right. Well,
Well-
so tomorrow at 9 a.m., hopefully, if I can stay awake long enough until Ryan Props is available tonight, we're going to record our first episode of what we're calling The Morning Heater, which is a 5 to 7 minute show just running through like 3 picks-ish each for the MLB slate. So that's coming out hopefully at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Again, if I can stay up long enough to catch Ryan Props' availability tonight. And we're back, I think, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, either for like some sort of watch
I
party
think it's
or
a watch party.
it's either a watch party or a 1 o'clock show. I don't know which one. I don't think we know which one yet. And yeah, check out all of our Twitters, I guess, for some plays and stuff. GoldBoys.com to sign up for the Discord. Picket Sports in the marketplace or what's the Apple App Store. Use
it
code GoldBoys. Yeah, you guys want to take over? Brian, you're much
Words
better
are
at
hard.
this.
Boom Fantasy,
Thanks, buddy.
for all your daily fantasy needs. It
All your
offers
fantasy
you,
need.
yeah, it offers you some lines that you might not get on the sports books, like first half over unders, fantasy points, this and that. And if you're not in a not legal sports space, Boom Fantasy is very helpful. Pick at Sports for all your line shopping needs and to track all your bets. And we appreciate all you guys being here. DegenEli, Paranormal Base, not Bass, as some people like to think. And thanks for joining in.
Wow.
Great
What a way
job.
to end it.